Hi everyone, it's Dan here. Welcome to the School of Light. Well, let's call this the first episode in Smith Shares stuff. I was putting together this print that's heading off to the US, and as I was putting it together, I was reminded of a few quite important things, and I just thought it'd be nice to share some stuff with you. And we're gonna talk about a couple of sort of anomalies in this image. We're going to talk about the wider image, maybe the bit about the night when I made it. I remember when we were up at the Salt making this image. It was a beautiful night, warm. There was a big moon. I'll show you the wider shot. This is a crop of a bigger image. There was a moon on the horizon. The water was nice. There was about 100 mil of water on the Salt Lake, and that means that I can stand in the water, pick a point. So you can see here on this image there was a chunk of salt just coming above the surface, so that was my point that I was spinning above. I remember looking at the back of the camera and just being absolutely floored by what I saw in the reflection. And what it makes me think about is something that that I think about quite a bit with orbs around water. Now, if you know my work, you know that I shoot a lot around water. And this thing happens when I make a ball of light on water. And that generally is that varying degrees of movement in the water mean that you get varying degrees in the amount of breakup of the image in the reflection. And in this instant, it's extreme. There was a light wind coming across, the movement of me in the water. But it makes me think about this. And that is kind of this duality or juxtaposition or some other fancy pants word that kind of makes me think about the order of the orb, the straight, although curved, but the straight lines of the orb, and then the broken, smashed up reflection. And this is sometimes what I talk about openly, about the kind of duality of my life, about the two sides, the two halves, the ordered part and the broken part, the stuff that you see and the stuff that you never see. I touch on this quite deeply in the Duality series, which you can go and look at on the website. But I always love those reflections because the ball of light is something that I always try and get round and by the nature of it, it's an ordered thing, even though because I spin them by hand, they're different every single time. They are the same all the time, whereas the reflection is always different, and it depends on how much wind, how much movement in the water, but fundamentally it varies based on conditions. And so I think about that with myself, about how depending on the conditions or the state of my mental health or where I am, you get a varied Dennis. I suppose that's an interesting way to think about it. I don't know. But here's the thing I really want to point out in this image. So I'm going to zoom in now, and you're going to see that there is this chunk of black dot in this image. And I remember looking at it the first time I saw it in Lightroom, and my immediate response was to clone it out or get rid of that because it sort of made the image imperfect. Was reminded almost instantly that that goes against every philosophy that I have around light painting, and that is that we don't add or remove pixels. Sure, a dead hot pixel or something like that, a UFO flying through the sky or something like that, we get rid of that. But if there's an element of the image that was there on the back of the camera when I looked at it, it stays. And so again, it's this sort of whole idea when I made that decision not to do that, that we have something that is imperfect, that's a flaw in the image, but it's not, because it makes it real and it makes it as it was or as it is. And I love that idea of the person who purchased this print may not have even seen it when they looked at it on the screen, even though you can see it in quite high resolution. But I love talking about that. Salt, water, reflections, duality, juxtaposition, imperfection, it's all here. And I love knowing that I've just signed this and I'm sticking it all down and putting it together. And in a week or so, this is gonna land in someone's lap, and they're gonna sit and they're gonna be able to sort of sink into the image that I've made. I love seeing my stuff printed. Of the hundreds of thousands of images that I've made, a microscopic percentage of them I get to see printed, but I highly recommend that you do it. If you haven't printed your work before, absolutely give it a go. And limited edition prints are available on the website. We make a lot of art, big, small, but these are fantastic because they're easy to ship, they're easy to hold. I imagine these sit on a bookshelf and you open them up and have a look at them. Anyway, that's enough from me. A little bit of background of this image and what I think about making work. Anyway, I shared something. Smith shares stuff. Beautiful. I hope you're having fun. Peace.